Okay, so this is a short reaction audio to a post by Pastor Kyle Bailey, and the title is Richard Dawkins finally admits that there's evidence of God.
Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at a short interview clip from Justin Brierley where he talked to Richard Dawkins, who ended up admitting that there's evidence for God.
Let's just pause it there. So I had to look Richard Dawkins up because I'm not familiar with him. He's an evolutionary biologist, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, he's written a number of books, quite a few books on refuting the existence of God. And the part that I find odd about this is if there wasn't at least the idea of a God, he wouldn't have anything to refute. So I'm not quite sure. He seems to that seems to be a major part of his work. He's in his early 80s now, I think.
Yeah, he's like the world's preeminent atheist who sort of took over Hitchens. Christopher Hitchens was before. Yeah. Just the most out there, public, visible guy that's promoting it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's just famous for, and he did have some. He was the guy I think that was famous for saying, well, you don't believe in a flying spaghetti monster, do you, or something like that.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
he was that guy, and he had some traction when he was saying that back in the day. But lately, it seems like his arguments haven't been that. They've sort of been.
Okay, well, I'm not clear what the crux of his argument is, whether it's scientific, moral, or something else. So I'm not sure.
I think it's scientific, but we'll see what he says.
I believe that's a very profound. I mean, if somebody was going to convince me of the need for a God, it would be there. It would be.
See, this is where I don't know if he's really admitting it or he's just saying if I was to.
Well, yeah. See, I'm not sure if this isn't just clickbait, but
not in my own field of biology, and I found. I mean, I've read The Language of God, and indeed I reread it today. I read it first when it came out. when you come on later to the origin of the physical constants, now that's getting warm. That's getting close to a good argument, unlike the morality one.
Well, is that mainly because it is essentially a scientific argument?
No.
That's
it's much more difficult than that. It's that the physical constants. Things like the speed of light, gravitational constant, and strong and weak force and things. Most physicists agree, that if you change any of those constants by even a very, very small amount, then we don't come into existence. The universe doesn't come into existence. They have to be like that in order for galaxies to form, for stars to form, for chemistry to form, actually. And then for the prerequisite for life to evolve, it needs that as well. So that's the nearest approach to a good argument.
So it seems like the house of cards that was built by the new atheist is starting to fall. Not only does Richard Dawkins admit that the fine-tuning of the universe may be a very good argument for God, but also the late Christopher Hitchens did as well. Let's take...
Yeah, but that's the only thing where this is kind of clickbaity. He didn't admit it.
No,
he just said...
No, he didn't.
He just, from his point of view.
Let's analyze this phrase. Admits there's evidence for God. I guess he did do that.
In a sense, yes. That there's arguments exist for the
Okay.
I guess yes.
Yeah, okay.
But they're getting a little away from themselves, I think, in the title. Yeah. But nevertheless, it's still worth just for the because I wasn't super familiar with that thing about how I didn't realize the universe was so fine tuned that if you changed it by apparently like a little bit, nothing would happen at all. Basically,
nothing works. Yeah.
So and that in itself was an interesting idea I hadn't heard, and it makes sense that if there is, it just seems like there's fingerprints all over this planet of something of intention, know?
Yeah. It's hard for me to think this is all an accident, and I'm not sure what if they have a third alternative or a fourth alternative when they argue against the existence of God or divine intent. Well, okay.